Okay. Okay, so I started from east to west. So starting with our dear folks in Pennsylvania, they have camp set up for July 25th through the 31st. They run 1 week. They run, I believe, a co-ed camp. And so you could be praying for them at that time. They have an executive director of Kelly. Their girls director is Leanna, and their boys director is Ryan, who we just got done listening to. One of the things that I asked each camp was, what are your favorite 3 activities from campers? And so it was really fun to see what the results were. So maybe it will stem some new ideas for your camps. The first one here was Ukrainian eggs, and then candy making. I'm sure that is ever popular, and then horses as well. So those sounded like a ton of fun from them. So if you want more information about any of those activities, I would encourage you to reach out to their executive director, Kelly. And we will be sending out or having available the participant list from this conference. So you'll be able to contact people who were on here as well. Here are some pictures from a Cedar Brook camp in the Pennsylvania. So lots of things that they have going on. Our next camp as we move west is we stop in Ohio at Cedar Brook Camp of Ohio at Stony Glen. They have 4 weeks and I'm not exactly sure. So Judy and Kathy, please, if you are on, please jump in and let me know what weeks you're offering boys and or girls. So they do have 4 weeks of camp, beginning July 11th and then ending August 7th.
First 3 weeks are girls, the 4th week is boys.
Awesome, thank you, Judy. Their directors for girls are Stacy Shannon and Laura Levine, and their boys are Aaron Horst and Teddy Hapanowitz. Their favorite or unique activities that they have is that they have outposting, as we heard about earlier. They also have a girls' Voyager camp, and during that time, the campers also bring their mom, an aunt, or a grandmother to be with them. So they kind of partner up in that camping as well. So I think that's a great way to get those younger campers, as well as getting those family members to see what camp is like and then hope potentially be on staff as well. And then their horsemanship is a big program for them also. And then here are some pictures from Ohio. And if you have never seen their Glen, that is the picture in the middle. If you wonder what their Stony Glen looks like. Next is Huron Forest. We have, they have lots of stuff. They own their campground. So they run June through August. As Chelsea had mentioned, they are increasing their activities for a second girls week because of running at 50% capacity. But that's really awesome that they're able to increase their programming. So you can look at any time that you're available. If you're able to help out there for staff, that would be great. I'm sure that they would appreciate it. Their directors are Mike Rosh Jager, who's their executive director, and then Chelsea is their assistant director. Their favorite 3 activities are capture the flag and swamp stomping. So say that like 3 times fast. A low ropes and team building challenge course, and then a hike through the woods to the Osable River. I probably butchered that, but hopefully it's close enough. And then some of the pictures from their past year are included here. Then we have Land of Lincoln. They have a boys camp and a girls camp running July 11th through the 24th. And their directors are executive is Charmaine Fries, Hannah Riddle, and then Luke Lynn. They have their results for boys for their activities are rocketry, a mad scientist activity, which Charmaine, if you're on, do you have any information about what that activity is? And then they also
here I am. I'm sorry, I had to unmute.
Okay.
Mad Scientist, it's just science activities that are fun and crazy and whatever, appeal to the boys.
Okay. And then they have an armor craft, which is where they're making their own sets of armor as well. The girls have a nature photography, a puppetry where they put on a puppet show at the end of the week, and then a flag squad, very similar to like a high school drill squad or flag, like with the marching bands. So lots of unique activities that are coming from all of our camps, and photos from their camps. And then Nikamo or Nikamo, depending on who you are talking to from their camp. Their dates are June 13th through the 26th. And Krista, I believe it's the second week that is going to be the boys' week, if I'm correct.
Actually, the first week.
The first week? Okay. So yeah, so the boys' week is going to be new for Nikamo this year, as some of you may have heard. So that's something to be in prayer about for them. Their directors are currently, for girls, it is Krista Crank. And then for boys, it's going to be Brent Holtzman. Their favorite 3 activities for the girls right now is outdoor cooking, their target sports, which includes archery and riflery. And then fishing is big at Nikamo as well. So, and you can see in the middle picture there is our resources trustee, who also has a home base at Nikamo, sporting a very purple dew there as they're playing Candyland. And then Camp Kareth, so North Central. They also own their camp. So they run all summer long as well. So they have a number of sessions. So if you're able to head to their camp and help out, I'm sure Kendra would be most appreciative of anyone willing to come. But they have lots of sessions. There's that family camp in July that they had talked about, as well as multiple girls camps and some boys camps, and even a mother-daughter weekend. They have boys directors are Rob Scout and Scott Taylor. For girls, they have Emily Geffert and then Elizabeth Westerman, who was hired from Adirondacks Camp Cedarbrook, and will also be the family camp director. Their operations director is Sarah Hallebeck, and then Kendra is their executive director. Their favorite 3 activities are water skiing, woodworking, and archery. And then here's some pictures from their camps. This one in the middle here, those are built graduates. So that's kind of a boys kilt program. And so that was graduates. I believe it was from last year for them. So if you're interested in starting a boys kilt or a built program, contact Kendra for that information. Camp Cedarbrook, Texas. Their 2021 camp dates are that they have a kilt week for June 13th through 19th, followed by a parallel boys and girls week for June 20th through the 26th. Their directors, Lord willing, will be Elizabeth Eakins, and then boys is Stephen Farmer. Their favorite 3 activities, and when I read this is all Texas, trap shooting, woodworking, and new this in 2021 is going to be axe throwing. So if we ever get back to Texas, maybe that for conference, maybe that would be an activity that we could have at conference. And then there are some pictures from their camps. And then moving west to our only camp in Mountain Standard Time is Saguaro. They run 1 week of camp for both boys and girls, June 20th to 26th. Their directors are Ron Bykirk for the boys, and they don't have a designated girls director yet. So unless one is found, then they will, Yvonne Tangent and Kathy Dilk will be co-directing. That's the plans at this time. Their favorite 3 activities is hiking, archery, and then Pioneer House. And Debbie Cheney, if you're on, could you explain what Pioneer House is?
Pioneer House is a class that we have to close registration because it gets so full. They do everything from candle making to making strawberry preserves, homemade biscuits. They wash clothes on washboards, and they're all wearing their own hand-sewn aprons while they're doing it.
Wow, sounds like fun. Thank you. And then there's some pictures from Saguaro. And none of their pictures that I could I find one saguaro cactus in them. And then on the West Coast from Cedarbrook Camp, Southern California, they have their camps from July 11th to the 23rd. And I believe that those are both boys and girls together. The director is Tim Webster. And their favorite 3 activities include archery, marshmallow wars, and cookouts. And that was one of the things that they actually did during their virtual camps this year, is they had some of their staff doing cookouts. And Debbie Odell was one of them who showed how to make tinfoil dinners on their virtual camp. So that was kind of fun to see. But here are some pictures from SoCal. And then moving up the West Coast is Oregon. They run a co-ed camp the week of June 20th through 26th. The director is Margie Randall. And their favorite 3 activities, and whoops, I forgot to add into it, was big swords. And Margie, what else did you have for your other activities?
Actually, it's boffer swords. And they make their own PVC pipe foam sword and do technique style fighting, canoeing, and slime.
Okay, so sounds like it's messy. And then here are activity pictures from Oregon. Which made me wonder, looking at this, is where did you get those big boxes? Are those refrigerator boxes?
No, we have a staff member who works for for Lamb Weston, a big company that gave them to us.
Nice. And then finally, we have Cascade Camp Cedarbrook, my camp, for 2021. We have a number of camps starting the middle of July until August 7th. We run a number of parallel camps during that time. Our girls' horse specialty is pretty popular. Our boys' adventure camp is getting popular as well. Our directors, I'm the executive director, and then I have for boys director, Steve Duke, and my girls director is Judy Elbert. Our favorite 3 activities would be target sports, archery and riflery, the waterfront, canoeing and sailing, and then laser tag is extremely popular as an evening activity and then also for cabin times. And then here are some pictures from our camp. So going through this, it was really interesting to see what all of the camps offered. It was also fun to see some of the fundraising ideas that camps had. Saguaro has, they do butter braids in the springtime, and then in the fall, or near Christmas time, they do wreaths. Then we heard from Pennsylvania, they have their golf outing. Oregon has a pancake breakfast that they do. And so I really encourage you, if you're not friends or following the camps on Facebook or social media, it's a great outlet to find other ideas or to converse with one another, just to get those ideas or share so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There was something that someone had put earlier, I think it was Shaq, about having kind of an ACC kind of database, and that's what we have for camp. But sometimes I think we overlook it and we forget about that. So just going right to the source is a great way to do that. But it was really fun to see that we do have similarities amongst our Cedarbrook camps, but we also have some differences. And so the one thing that unites us all is Christ. And then we break it down to the individual levels and where we're at in location and what we can offer to those campers to make every opportunity memorable for those campers, make those magic moments for them, that they want to come back, that they want to, once they graduate out of camp, come back and serve on staff as well. And then also recognizing what our 4 core values are, our spiritual formation, our community building and relationships, our individual development, and I can't remember what the last one is. So, anyways.
Creation appreciation.
Oh yeah, creation appreciation shows how much of a nature not person I am. Anyways, that's kind of it for me. So I'm sorry it was so short, but I hope it gave you a little bit of a glimpse of what people are able to look forward to come 2021, and that we can at this time be all in prayer for the campers that will be coming, the staff that will be coming during those sessions, especially as we as staff begin preparing or continue to prepare for our camp sessions as well. That will really make a positive impact, and especially with the topic of fearless and all that's been done, that it's so appropriate.
Jayne,
Yes, ma'am.
Can you then put us into chat rooms and make the topic of the conversation to be around fundraising and activities?
Sure. So I will break you out into your chat rooms according to your time zone, and then you can talk about those specific topics. Okay.